I am Murdock with Murdock Sports, here to bring you my free college picks of the day. First, let me share a little bit of information with you. I want to thank you for your time. I have been a private consultant in the handicapping industry for over 20 years, and I'm here to bring my picks and my expertise to you and to stack some chips right along with you. So let's get right in and dive into these games right now and do that together. The first game that we're going to talk about, a lot of people like to look at this game and circle it on your board. It is Alabama in Missouri. People see that Alabama machine and they roll, and that's part of their name and that's part of what they do. It is a poor man's NFL team in college. All they do is put out people to play on Sundays. They're playing Missouri today, and what the sneaking information is here is the defense that both teams bring to the table. Alabama is 5th in the country with 16.9 points per game, and Missouri is 13th with less than 20, 19.7. It's going to be a lot of running the football. I don't see the ball going vertical very much to push that number over. I understand that last week Alabama did get into a little shootout, but with that being said, both teams averaging less than 20 points a week, and this is the end of the season. Both teams have played entire schedules, and averaging less than 20 points is substantial. I like this game to be under the 49 points where it is, and if I had to pick one and could, for nothing, I'd pick Alabama laying the 14 points. Maybe buy that down a half a point and take those 2 touchdowns. But look for a close game and a hard-fought game. Missouri finally breaks in the fourth quarter, and Alabama gets away with that. Next game is Louisiana Tech and Marshall. Marshall lost last week in a double overtime heartbreaker. They had the first loss of the year. La Tech has won 6 of the last 7. What is featured in this game is that Marshall, if they can win this game, they are looking to be New Year's Day bowl bound, and that is a big deal for the program. They throw the ball all over the place. They're second in the country with points per game at 47 points. It's huge. La Tech throws the ball all over the place as well. They average 39 points a game, and Marshall here today keeps everything wide open. This number is 68.5. I take the over of this. I think that gets to 70 points by the start of the fourth quarter, and Marshall is playing on New Year's Day. The next game is Florida State and Georgia Tech. This game is being played in North Carolina. It is the ACC Championship. There's big games all over the place. This one has an asterisk next to it for me because I love a money line dog. Nothing gets a bigger smile on my face than finding a game on the board where the points are upside down. FSU has played Florida, Boston College, and they just, in the last 3 games, they have not won by more than 4 points, and they've been big favorites. They have a glass jaw. They're being punished for it. They're number 4 in the country with an undefeated record. And today they're playing Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is averaging 334 yards on the ground. And they are going to run the ball up and down and up and down. FSU has their second string running back in the till today. Winston better not make those mistakes again today, and if he does, Georgia Tech, they've scored 120 points on turnovers this year. That's substantial. Look for this game to go the other way. FSU's laying 4.5. I like Georgia Tech as a money line dog. I think the points are on the wrong side. The big number in this game is 61. I could take the under of that game as well. I may not. Georgia Tech has not scored less than 25 points in any game this year. So we do like Georgia Tech in this game, so look for that. And the next featured game is Ohio State and Wisconsin. This game is being played in Indianapolis. It's also being played with Ohio State's third-string quarterback. I don't care how quality, and these good programs, Ohio State is a phenomenal program, it's your third-string quarterback. And they're playing on neutral ground. Wisconsin is coming in with an NFL-ready offensive line and running back. It's a poor man's NFL team. And Gordon is a potential Heisman winner. He's a potential first-round pick. and he's been running all over the place. He broke the records this year. He's the real deal. He's averaging 8 yards a carry. Ohio State is going to stop him here and there. They can't stop him all day long. The third-string quarterback situation that they have there, no Miller, no Barrett, they're just going to end up giving way a bit too much. Wisconsin wins that game by the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter. They're going to start to pull away. We like Wisconsin -4.5. The big number's 52.5. Because of the ball control with Wisconsin and Ohio State's lack of leadership at the quarterback position, you can't handicap turnovers. I'm going to stay away from the big number in this game because it could push over with the mistakes that kid's going to make. And the next game that we'll talk about is the Kansas State game. Kansas State is playing Baylor. This game is very intriguing to me because Baylor is on the outside looking in. They have beat TCU and heads up. If TCU wins today and Baylor wins today, they're co-champions for the conference, and TCU's in front of them. Kansas State has been on the road this year and beat out Oklahoma by 1. They beat West Virginia by 6. They beat Iowa State by 3, and they lost straight up to TCU. So them on the road does not prove to be very strong ground for them. Baylor, it has the #1 offense in the entire country. They boast almost 50 points a game, 49.8 points a game for the entire season. That's not just a small section of the season. It's 50 points for the entire year, and they're going to open that up today. Kansas State does have a good defense, but Baylor has a point to prove, and they're trying to impress that committee tomorrow. So when they win and when TCU wins as well, that committee will look and see what Baylor did today, and then on bent knee, they'll be able to look at that TCU-Baylor heads-up match. I think Baylor pulls out all the stops, and they're going to leave that wide open. I expect this game also to get over the 66.5 points. I believe Baylor's going to win this game 45-24, and I love Baylor -7. I'd get that down to 6.5 if you have that available to you. And the last part of this is going to be the Oklahoma State-Oklahoma game. It doesn't look real sexy on television, and you know I love to watch these games, but stacking chips isn't always about looking sexy. It's about stacking chips, and in stacking those chips today, take this under consideration. Oklahoma State has lost 11 of the last 12 games to Oklahoma. Oklahoma State has not beaten a ranked team this year. They have lost to those ranked teams by an average of 23.6 points differential in those losses. Oklahoma has beaten their unranked opposition by a margin of 26 points differential. The Oklahoma has that phenomenal back that had a week off, and he had 427 yards against Kansas the week prior. They're going to run this ball up and down the field against Oklahoma State. It's not going to be pretty, and it doesn't have to. Oklahoma is laying 21 points in this game. I am in love with the over of 60.5. I'd buy that down to 59.5 if you can, so that the extra point helps us on that side. But look for Oklahoma really to lay the wood here. 11 straight wins is substantial against another team, and today it's going to get even worse. The silver lining here for Oklahoma State, if you want to play the other side of that 21, is if Oklahoma State wins, they are bowl eligible. They've lost all those games in a row, and they're heads down. If they can get up, quote unquote, for this game, I don't like that term, but if they can find a way to do that, you can play the other side of the 21. But I'm taking the over of 60.5. During the day, if you have another game, college basketball, pro basketball, college football, with the games that I have not covered here, pro football tomorrow. Shoot me a tweet, hit me up on Facebook, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and make sure that you check all through the day for those updates there, and be sure, please, to subscribe and to share this with others. When you see these games hit, when you start to stack those chips and you see the trend swinging in the right direction, come on back and ask for some more. Putting those smiles on those faces are second place to putting those dollars in your wallet. So, thanks a bunch. My name is Murdock with Murdock Sports. Have a great afternoon, and I'll talk to you again soon.